Hey, welcome back to Story Not Story.
Oh, hello.
Hey.
Are you welcoming me or are you welcoming them?
Yes.
Oh, well, thank you.
Welcome to you.
Wow.
Welcome to you.
I know what you are feeling now because I've been welcomed as well, and it feels nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Am I welcome?
I'm thinking about it.
Okay.
Yeah, welcome. Welcome.
Thank you. This is our podcast where we tell you bedtime stories that we make up on the spot, often from your suggestions. And we have two awesome suggestions this week.
We do.
And are we just going to dive right in?
Let's just jump right into it.
Okay. Is it deep enough? Because you're not supposed to, dive in if it's not deep enough.
Well, just jump in, but
Feet first?
Yeah, and you just anticipate it not being so deep.
Okay.
But it might be. Who knows?
Oh my goodness.
You never know when you start a story with us.
That's very true.
Yeah.
I'm going to try not to have as much
very deep.
death in my story this week.
Okay. All right.
That's my goal.
Can you tell me a story?
Yeah.
Yeah?
I guess so.
Do you want to tell me a story that was suggested by Kissy Winky Face?
She wrote her actual name in the email as well.
Oh, Maggie.
Yeah.
Okay. She says, I'd quite like it if you told me a story of the founding of East Philadelphia. I'm not sure, but I think it might have happened sometime around the American Revolution.
Well, Maggie, and to all you folks listening at home, or in the car, or wherever you're listening to it, I'm not here to tell you where to listen to our podcast. You know. That's a common misconception that East Philadelphia was founded during the American Revolution. It's actually a little bit more recently than that.
There's also a misconception out there that it doesn't exist.
Yeah, we keep getting emails about how East Philadelphia isn't a thing.
Yeah.
I think it's very obvious that it's a thing.
Yes.
You just go to Philadelphia and then you go east. And
yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah. Also, Mitzi, you could probably stop licking your legs or whatever you're doing over there. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
sorry.
You. Yeah.
Does that show up in
I don't
the
know.
audio?
I don't know.
Well, you telling her to stop certainly did.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, a lot of people think that East Philadelphia was founded during the American Revolution. It was actually more recent than that. Significantly, it's actually founded in 2015.
What?
Yeah.
That's very recent.
It's pretty recent.
I feel like I would have heard about that on the news or something.
Yeah, it was in the news.
Oh. But
yeah.
I pay attention to the news very closely all the time.
Well, it was just a little bit in the news.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal that a big chunk of Philadelphia is founded? I guess it's not that big a deal.
Okay, who said that it was a big chunk of Philadelphia?
You're right.
Nobody said that it was a big chunk.
Based on the stories that we've told in the past, it seems pretty big, also older than 2015.
Well, okay, it was just officially founded in 2015.
Okay.
But people started, I'm trying to think of what the stories are that have all of them.
Almost all of them. Yeah.
Well, okay. So people have known about East Philadelphia for a long time. It's just like one of those things that you just feel, you know?
Yeah.
Like in your soul.
Like sadness?
Deep within you.
Like loneliness? Like inadequacy?
Oh. Does this need to turn into a different kind of podcast? Are you okay?
I'm doing fine.
Are you sure?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm just thinking back to before I knew you.
Aww. So East Philadelphia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Born and raised.
So
no.
This whole story begins in 1980 with the birth of a little baby.
That's the year of my birth.
Yeah, and that little baby's name was Greg.
Greg. Okay, all right.
Greg Benson, actually.
Greg Benson?
Yeah, not the one that we know, though,
No,
because I think he was born before 1980.
Yes.
Yeah, but very similar person.
Similar to Greg Benson, the founder of Mediocre Films on YouTube?
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the very same, but different.
Okay.
So anyway, little Greg grew up in West Philadelphia. And Greg had always very lofty goals in life, and he really wanted to be involved in politics and helping people, and
Like-
making his community better.
Even at a young age?
Yeah.
Wow.
Even at a young age.
Mm-hmm.
From like the age of like 16,
Okay.
you know. Not like a very young age.
Okay. So you could drive.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's kind of when the urge to go politicking takes over.
That's right, because
When
like
you
sometimes
drive.
I'll be like, when I first start driving, I'll be like, I get to an intersection and someone doesn't give me the right of way when they're supposed to, and I'm like, something needs to be done.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, and you're like, I'm gonna run for mayor, and that'll
Yeah.
show you.
And I'll make a law against you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much what happened with Greg too.
Mm-hmm.
He started driving, and then he just wanted to run for office.
Mm-hmm.
So he grew up, and he graduated high school, and he went to college, and he graduated that, and all the while like laying the groundwork for his run for office.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Where did he go to? Wait, he graduated high school. He graduated college.
Yep.
Where did he go to college for?
He went to college for he majored in being a mayor.
Really? That's like
Yeah.
the mayor major.
Yeah.
Wow.
They kept telling him that this isn't a thing that you can major in, but he just kind of took classes, and then they were like, "Well, I guess you've taken enough classes, so here's your diploma." And he's like, "Awesome! I graduated mayor school," and they're like, "No, you didn't. That's not a thing
Oh, really?
to study. But here you go."
Yeah.
And then
What college?
Philadelphia University.
Oh, Phil U.
Yep.
They call it. Mm-hmm.
Phil U.
Yeah.
So anyway, he graduated with his bachelor's degree in mayoring.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started his campaign to become mayor of Philadelphia. That's what he wanted to do.
Yes.
And so he ran against the incumbent, who at the time was named a person by the name of
Bob Dole?
No,
Oh.
that wasn't. Don't just like talk about things that you don't even know.
Oh, sorry.
Like, I know way more about Philadelphia than you do.
Okay.
So, well, the person's name was obviously
Chris Christie.
Bob Scholl.
Bob Scholl.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So Bob Scholl had been the mayor of Philadelphia for a long time,
Sure.
and he was beloved. But Greg thought,
Why was he so beloved? What was?
well, nobody really knew. He used to be an ice cream truck guy, and so people really like ice cream.
An ice cream truck guy.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
then he became the mayor, and people, like, he would just still give, like, if he gave a speech somewhere, he would like drive his ice cream truck there and give everybody ice cream.
Wow. That seems like there should be rules against that kind of politicking.
Well, but he was the mayor, so he got rid of those laws
Oh, yeah. Good point.
in Philadelphia.
All right. Yeah. Abuse of power. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But free ice cream, so everybody really liked him.
Yeah. Good.
So anyway, Greg starts campaigning and running on this really great platform. He had a lot of good ideas for things that could change in the city to make it better. And and it was looking okay. Poll numbers were coming back pretty good and everything. But he wasn't giving people ice cream, so it wasn't like, I mean, he wasn't being really competitive, you know?
Yeah.
He wasn't even like giving them cookies or cake or anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Doesn't he realize politics should just be gift-based?
Yeah, well, you know, he thought that he could raise the moral standard of the office. So,
Campaign finance reform?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Campaign ice cream reform.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So he just refused to stoop to that level. Election day comes, and it's unprecedented levels of voter turnout here in Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. You know?
Wow.
And,
It was?
yeah.
Why?
Well, election day was also, the polls were at a local park, and they were having a fair. So people were just going to the fair. But then they were like, oh, I guess I could vote while I'm here.
Sure.
So it was...
Oh, so it was record turnout because there happened to be a fair
Right.
at the same time.
Yes.
Great.
Yeah.
There should always be
lots of really informed voters.
Yeah, there should always be a fair right on election day at every polling station.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
With
and
the ice cream.
So Greg and his friends and family had a watch party that night to watch the results come in, and they were really excited. They felt really confident, and he actually lost like really bad. He got like 2% of the vote. Oh no! Yeah, it was like really. He was soundly defeated.
Should have gave him baked goods or something,
or frozen treats. Yeah, whatever. Yeah, maybe even like pizza or something. If you didn't want to do sweet stuff.
Yeah. But then you got, like, some people who are vegan, and you'd have to, like, have a special...
You get a vegan pizza.
I guess it would apply to everything that you're giving out anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, anyway, Greg is really disappointed, and he still wants to be a mayor because he wants to use his degree. His bachelor's degree in mayoring.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah. I mean, it's a very specific job, and if you don't get it, your college is kind of... wasted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so...
nobody's college degree is ever wasted.
No, not even once. Yeah, so he didn't want to be the first person to not use their college degree.
Right.
So, let's see. This was like 1980 plus 18 plus like 4 years for college. That'd be like 2002. And then probably a couple years after that. So it's like 2005 now.
Yeah.
When he gets defeated.
Okay.
And sorry, I had to math.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That always makes a good story.
So Greg spends the next 10 years deciding what he's going to do and how he's going to become a mayor, because that's all he wants to do. And he thinks about moving to like a different state, a different town or something, and trying to become a mayor of like a different place. Where the incumbent mayor doesn't give out free ice cream all the time, and maybe he has a better shot.
Yeah.
But he really loves Philadelphia. It's his home. It's where he grew up. So he comes up with a plan. He hatches a plan.
All right.
He's going to make a new city.
What?
Uh-huh.
Like, what is it going to be, like New Philadelphia? Well,
he was in downtown Philadelphia one day.
Yeah.
And sitting over by the Delaware River.
We're looking at a map of Philadelphia,
We are
right?
not looking at a map
now.
of Philadelphia or anything.
Yeah.
This is just written in the history books. We just know.
Okay.
So he's sitting over by the old Delaware River.
Yeah.
And pondering his next steps. And he is like, man, this area here, just east of downtown, right by the river, it's just so beautiful and serene. I feel more at home here than I've ever felt anywhere in my whole life.
Really?
And
what part of Philadelphia was he from?
He was from, west central Philadelphia.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. And he's like, this is where I'm going to found my new city. Right here in East Philadelphia. In fact, that's what we're going to call it. East Philadelphia.
Okay. And that was 2 years ago.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So he goes, it started in 2014. This happened in 2014. So he goes to the courthouse with a stack of paperwork. It's all the documents that you need to found a new city. Sure. That actually these documents don't exist. He just types them up.
He made up documents to found a new city?
Yeah, because it's kind of unprecedented what he's trying to do.
I guess.
It's just like when he wrote
take a chunk of a city and make it a different city.
They wouldn't write bachelor's of mayoring on his diploma, so he just made his own diploma and brought it to graduation and handed it to the dean, and then they handed it back to him.
Seems very corrupt. But yeah.
It's not corrupt.
Okay.
He's a go-getter.
Okay.
He's a revolutionary.
Yeah. Okay. Some people do view corruption as being a go-getter. So yeah.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
So anyway. So Greg goes to the courthouse and he's like, here's all the paperwork you need. I'm founding a new city. And the woman is like, what? And he's like, I'm founding the city of East Philadelphia right over here by the Delaware River. And she's like, that's what? And she's like, I'm going to go get my supervisor. And he's like, okay, thanks. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
And so she goes and gets her supervisor, and her supervisor comes over, and then the supervisor, she's like, excuse me, sir. Well, first of all, these aren't actually forms for establishing a new city. These are just things that you just typed up at home on your computer and then printed out. And he's like, well, yeah, the forms didn't exist, so I had to create them.
He's a go-getter.
Yeah, but I'm a real go-getter, so I had to create these forms. Mm-hmm. But now they exist, and here they are. And she's like, okay, well, setting that aside, you also can't just, found a new city. And you certainly can't create a new city within a pre-existing city. Mm-hmm. Like Philadelphia already.
Oh, so it's like a pre-existing condition sort of issue?
It's exactly like that in no way.
Okay.
She's like, Philadelphia already exists where you want your city. Mm-hmm. And like this land is like owned. Mm-hmm. It's all kind of called for. And he's like, okay, so I'm just going to leave this paperwork with you guys and you'll process it. My phone number's right here. So just whenever you get the documents for my new city approval, you just call me up and let me know and I'll come back down and we can sign everything.
And then he'll mayor.
And and I'll be the mayor.
Yeah.
And stuff. And just let me know if you want me to like run over to these people's houses who live in the new East Philadelphia. Mm-hmm. I'll let them know like that they should change their addresses over to East Philadelphia instead of Philadelphia and everything. And she's like, you can't do any of that. Please do not go knock on these people's houses. And he's like, okay, I'll go ahead and just go let them know. Mm-hmm. And
wow.
Yeah, he's not a very good listener.
He's a go-getter, though.
He is a go-getter.
Yeah.
And you know what he does?
What?
He goes and tells everyone who lives over there that they live in East Philadelphia now.
He just tells them they live in East Philadelphia? He doesn't even ask them if it's okay?
Well, no. I mean, it's they live within the bounds of his new city, so
yeah. Okay.
It's just a thing.
All right.
Yeah. What's there to ask?
Good point. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, and they're just like kind of confused, and they don't really want to engage with him because he seems kind of crazy.
Yeah, it seems like he's going about this all wrong. He seemed like you'd want to petition them to see if they would like to found a new city.
Well, and he also asks them, he takes a vote at each person's house whether they want him to be the new mayor or if they want him to be the new mayor. And it is universally accepted.
Unanimous.
Yeah.
I bet.
It is absolutely unanimous. Uh-huh. Yeah, that he's the new mayor of East Philadelphia.
Okay.
And, so... I'm
still waiting for the time when it actually becomes a city.
On June 1st, 2015.
Yeah.
On a beautiful summer's day in East Philadelphia, right on the Delaware River.
Yeah.
There was a ribbon cutting ceremony.
Yeah.
For the founding of East Philadelphia.
Who is at this ceremony?
Well, Greg.
Uh-huh.
The police.
Okay.
And just some people who were like walking past, pretty much.
Why are the police there?
Because they've been warned about this guy. He's kind of unpredictable.
Sure.
They're just there to keep an eye on it. He's not doing anything illegal.
All right.
But if he starts to, they're gonna be there.
Does he have like a giant scissors to do a ribbon cut?
Oh yeah, like the biggest scissors.
Where do you get a giant scissors?
Like Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 2-day Prime shipping.
All right. Yeah, I guess.
Giant scissors.
You can get anything now.
And he got the ribbon specially printed, so it said, "Welcome to East Philadelphia."
And then he cut it. So the welcome has been cut.
Well, no, he cut it in the middle of the east.
Okay, so is that the end of the story?
I think so. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still ongoing.
The city never approved of this new East Philadelphia.
Yeah, but he didn't feel like he needed to wait for that because bureaucracy can be.
So this is how
the wheels of the government turn quite slowly.
So this is how East Philadelphia was formed.
Yes.
It wasn't formed.
No, it was.
Oh, in the eyes of Greg Benson.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
And he has managed to convince a couple of people.
I'm starting to doubt the existence of East Philadelphia now.
It's a thing. It is a thing.
What's the name of the story?
The founding of East Philadelphia.
The founding of East Philadelphia. Okay.
What do you think the story should be called?
That's a great name.
Okay.
Yeah. I just don't, I don't know if I'm going to refer to East Philadelphia anymore.
Oh my gosh.
I do not want to buy into Greg Benson's agenda.
Wow. Greg Benson would be very disappointed in your...
Why are you so supportive of Greg Benson? Why is there a need for East Philadelphia?
It's just such a beautiful place.
It's by a river. It's nice, sure. But it's Philadelphia.
Well, I've never been to Philadelphia.
Yeah, well, I have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Have you been to East Philadelphia?
I think, I've been to the area where you claim is East Philadelphia, yeah.
It's a place.
Okay. All right.
We can't talk about this anymore. Why don't you tell me a story?
Okay, I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
What should my story be about?
Well, your story suggestion comes from Sosen, our friend Sosen,
Yeah.
who writes, can you tell a story about two friends that come across a strange old person that turns one of them into a chicken?
Who's Sosen? Okay.
Yep.
Well, Sosen, two friends come across a strange old person, turns one of them into a chicken.
Uh-huh.
Well, you see, Sosen, not too long ago, in the forest, the woody forests of North Boston.
I see what you're doing here, and it hurts.
It's not in Boston. It's a little bit out of Boston.
It hurts.
It's in the countryside.
Your abandonment of East Philadelphia hurts.
No. We'll discuss that later. So, it's two friends, okay?
Yep.
Do
they have names?
Yeah. Everyone has a name.
Not everyone has a name. There's probably someone who doesn't have a name.
I mean, eventually they got to be referred to somehow,
What if they live in solitude for 100% of their lives? Most people have a name.
You're right. There might be someone, like on an island by themselves with food that was able to live a full life.
Yeah.
No name.
Yeah.
They were born, abandoned. They somehow survived as a baby.
Well, what if they were not abandoned, but what if their parents were just like, we're on an island, whatever, we know who this is.
I suppose. All right, so there's these two friends.
Yeah.
Okay. Peter.
Mm-hmm.
And the other friend is a girl, and she doesn't have a name. So.
Aww.
Yeah, she just never had a name. She never had a name. Nope.
She has a name.
No, she doesn't have a name.
Okay.
And if she does, she doesn't know it. So Peter just refers to her as like, "Hey, you over there," or if he's talking to someone else. I was with that girl without the name.
Mm-hmm.
Girl without a name, or something. So they're walking through the woods.
If he calls her girl without a name, then wouldn't that just be her name?
No, but it changes every time.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're walking through the woods, and the reason they're walking through the woods is their dad, Peter's dad, just got a metal detector.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, let's go look for gold. Or any kind of precious metal. So they're wandering through with their metal detector. Boop, 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 boop. And they
boop boop
boop boop boop boop. Wait, wait. Let me do it. Let me describe it a little further. Boop 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 boop
boop boop boop boop boop boop boop.
And so they come across this old man who's behind a tree. They see, but they can hear him and see like the side of him. He doesn't see them yet, and they're like, "Hey, there's an old man there behind the tree." They both say that in unison. It's really weird. Mm-hmm. And the old man is like, "I'm not behind the tree. You're behind the tree." And they're like,
"Oh, that's a good point."
Yeah,
perspective.
Like, well, from your perspective, old man. And he's like, "Good point." So then he comes out from behind the tree, and he's like, "What are you kids doing? Yeah, boy, howdy." He grew up in Texas, but he now lives in Boston,
North Boston.
Well, he actually lives in Boston, but they're like, "What are you doing here, old man? What are you doing here, young man and girl?" And they said, "Well, we're looking for gold. We have this metal detector." "Gold? I got all the gold there is in these parts."
He's already got it all?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's basically his job. He goes around the outskirts of Boston and looks for gold.
Is there a lot of gold in the outskirts of Boston?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever heard of the Boston Gold Rush?
No. Yes.
It's a story for another time, I guess.
Okay. We'll talk about the Boston Gold Rush later.
Yeah. Anyway.
So it's a very goldy place, but this old guy has it all already.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the old man's like, "Listen, kids, you want gold? I'm the only one that's got it. And I will give it to you for a price."
Whoa. Like dollars?
He's like, "Well, you can give me dollars." And the kids are like, "Well, I don't got no dollars."
Don't got no dollars.
The kids say they take on his lingo all of a sudden.
Yeah. It's called code switching.
Yeah, they code switch a little bit.
Yeah, you want to...
Yeah, he's like, "Well..."
You're trying to establish a rapport.
All right. Know? So he says, "Tell you what. If I can guess your names, you can have all my gold. If I can't guess your names, you can have all my gold after 3 guesses." And they say, "Okay, that's great. That's a great deal." And he's like, "But if I can guess your names, then I'm going to turn you into chickens." Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
What happens if he can guess one of their names but he can't guess the other one? Do they get the gold, or does he turn someone into
whoever
a chicken?
he can't guess, whoever he can guess gets turned into a chicken.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. So he goes up to Peter and he's like, "Obviously your name is Shamus." And Peter's like, "No." He's like, "Sal? No. Michael? No. Dang it! All right, you don't get turned into a chicken."
Does he get gold?
He's like, "Well, it has to be both."
Oh, it has to be both for them to get the gold. Okay.
Yeah. He goes over to the girl and he's like, "All right, your name is obviously Lucy." She's like, "No." Like, "Mary?" Like, "No." And then he pauses for a bit. And he paused and he doesn't say anything for like a couple seconds. And she's like, "You're right." And he's like, "What? I wasn't I am. I'm totally right." And she's like, "Yeah, you're right. I don't have a name." "Yeah, exactly what I thought." "Now you're a chicken." And then she turns into a chicken.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That was dumb.
Yeah.
That was a dumb thing for her to do.
She shouldn't have assumed that he thought she didn't have a name.
No.
Yeah.
Clearly he was just hesitating, but...
Yeah.
Well, what can you do now? She's a chicken.
Yeah.
And they get no gold.
Yeah, they get no gold. She's a chicken. And so Peter's like, oh crap. So how do I turn her back? You can't just leave her as a chicken. It's like, "Not my problem, Shamus." And he leaves. "No, I said my name. I didn't say my name was Shamus." Whatever. He leaves, but he can still hear him say whatever after he leaves. And so he's like, "Well, there's got to be. How do I turn? Why does this old man have magic? And why And how do I turn her back? And what happens is...
Uh-huh. So excited.
He takes her home and has her as a pet.
Just a pet chicken?
For like 5 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. He was 12 at the time, and now he's 17.
Is he like trying to figure out how to turn her back, or does he just give up instantly and just keep her as pet chicken?
He's doing research. He's looking into the dark arts. He wanders around the woods, like
trying to find the old guy.
For a while it was nightly, but as time goes by it became like once a week and then every other week or so. He's
got stuff to do.
Got things to do. There were several times where he had to protect the girl that didn't have a name from like chicken poachers.
Whoa.
North Boston has a lot of chicken poaching.
Sure.
So she's older now, and chickens, they don't usually... What is the lifespan of a chicken? Are you looking that up? They don't usually live that long. 7 to 8 years. So is what I assume.
Yeah, that's generally what I would assume too, based on my knowledge.
He's running out of time. He's got to turn her back, and what ends up happening? He does all this research about magic, trying to find some magician, and he can't find anyone, but he suddenly after doing all this research for years. Ancient book texts and like books in the back of the library. The Boston Library is pretty old.
Yeah, I would imagine if you were going to be someplace and you're trying to figure out how to turn a person back into a person from a chicken. Yeah, Boston is probably a pretty good place. Maybe he even takes a train into New York.
Europe would be better, or anywhere else in the world. Well, yeah,
much older texts,
older places, and so he did do a few trips. Like it was like school trips that he signed up for classes that went to Europe just for this, to go to the libraries. And he's become an expert. And then suddenly one day he's eating cereal. Mm-hmm. And he's playing with the cereal with a spoon. Mm-hmm. And then he looks over at a book. And he looks over and the spoon is stirring the cereal by itself. And
that doesn't seem useful at all in turning her back from a chicken, but that's really cool.
And then he's like, wait a second. And then he with his mind makes the spoon put cereal in his mouth.
Wow. I think I saw this in Matilda.
Did you?
Uh-huh.
I guess I did too.
You don't remember that part? It's so cool.
Wow, I stole that from Matilda.
Yep. That's
fine. And so then he realizes, oh crap. I'm a magician now. I'm a wizard or something, whatever you want to call me. Uh-huh. I'm going to change my name to Shamus the Shaman.
Holy butts.
Yeah, so he does. And he calls the girl, it's not a girl with, he changed the name, since the girl didn't have a name, he now refers to the girl as the chicken without a name.
Okay, so, sure.
That's the name he gave.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Although that's probably a really big bummer for her, because she probably still feels like a girl on the inside, and
she probably also thought this was an opportunity to finally have an actual name, but he decides not to give her an actual name. Yeah.
She's looking forward to it. Yeah. So he's a magician now. What happens?
Well, he gets really good at feeding himself with his magic.
Still super not useful to her.
And then he starts feeding her. Chicken feed with his magic.
Okay, she'd probably rather not be a chicken anymore. He should really work on those skills.
Well, he continues to work. 2 more years pass.
Oh my goodness.
And she's getting to be an old chicken now.
Yeah, she's like 7 now, right?
Yeah. And things aren't looking good. He's progressed a little bit in the magic department. He can now like disappear and reappear other places. But not too far, like 3 feet. Like he can be 3 feet here and then go 3 feet over.
That's not.
And he did turn a yellow butterfly into a slightly darker yellow butterfly.
Okay.
So he's working on animals. He's getting there.
She's really running out of time, though.
Yeah, she is. It's unfortunate. He's not even close, really.
No.
But then he realizes he can facial recognition technology got so good in the future now on your phones and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And he realized that the girl with no name took a picture of the old man with her phone.
What?
Yeah, so he grabs the picture of the old man, does a little facial recognition. He lives in Boston. He lives like near downtown.
Yeah.
Like near a Subway, actually, like the restaurant Subway.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they go and get lunch.
Well, they go get lunch. Well,
at Subway.
He's got a chicken with him in his bag. He has to hide it because people don't like you taking chickens everywhere.
Sure.
Yeah.
Does he get her a sandwich too?
She gets a little bit of what he thought was turkey, but it was actually chicken.
Oh no.
Yeah, it was a little awkward.
Yeah.
And they accidentally gave him chicken, not turkey. And
That's weird because they make the sandwich right in front of you.
He's distracted. Okay, he's excited.
Okay.
He's meeting the old man.
Sure.
So he goes to see the old man. He's like, he knocks on the door. Someone comes to the door. Slowly opens the door. It's the old man.
Oh, nice.
I added a little suspense there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Very suspenseful.
Yeah, and the old man, he says,
Uh-huh.
"Who are you? What are you doing here?" "Good boy, howdy. Yeah." And so he goes, "It's me, Peter." It's like, "Who's Peter?" "It's me, Shamus." "Shamus? I remember meeting a boy named Shamus. Well, probably about 7 years ago. And there was a girl. Don't remember her name, though. I'm having a hard time. But I believe I turned her into a chicken." "Yeah, this is her right here." And he's like, "Can you turn her back, please?" He's like, "Can I have the rest of your Subway sandwich?" He's like, "Yes." "Okay, yeah." And then he turns her back.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, okay, just a quick question.
Yeah.
So, chickens don't have as long a lifespan as humans do. So, while she was a chicken, she got real old as a chicken.
Yeah.
Is she any older when she turns back into a human? Is she 7 years older because that's the amount of time that it had elapsed? Or is she like significantly older because she had aged so much as a chicken?
So Peter's like it's like 19 at this point now.
Yeah.
And she 56 years old.
She's 56?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That's rough.
It's a little rough. And the old man asks her to marry him.
Oh my God. Does she?
She says, "Hell no."
Because he turned her into a chicken.
Yeah, and then they go away, and she becomes a chicken farmer.
A chicken farmer.
Yeah.
I guess she would know a lot about chickens at this point.
Yeah, she does.
She was one.
Yeah.
Well.
And she treats them well. They're free range, and she just farms them for eggs, and then they live a very nice life.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Eggs are really good.
And she makes a lot of money, and she's very happy.
Well, good. I bet she's happy to not be a chicken anymore. Although, it would be a really big bummer. I mean, she should only be 19 years old also. And she's 56.
Yeah.
She just missed, like, a whole huge chunk of her life.
She didn't really like being a kid anyway. She didn't have a name. It wasn't. Well,
yeah, but
it was like she wasn't even there.
She missed all the non-kid years. She missed all of her 20s and 30s and 40s.
It's not nice. The world is harsh out there. You know, bad things happen.
This is a really hard story to hear. This is going to stick with me.
Yeah, sorry about that.
What's your story called?
It's called The Girl/Chicken Who Doesn't Have a Name.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's great. It was a really good story.
Thank you.
It's a bummer.
It's a sad one.
No one died in my story.
But she's happy when she's older. Like, what more can you ask for? You know?
I know. I'm just saying it should have never happened.
She lives to like 120 also.
Oh, so, that's cool.
Yeah. And she's happy the whole time.
Okay, well, that's good. I'm glad.
She falls in love.
Yeah?
Yeah, a few times.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel better about it.
Okay, good.
Thank you for making it happier.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those are our stories this week. I think we had 2 pretty stellar ones.
I think we did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The girl/chicken who doesn't have a name.
Even though we're going to need marriage counseling to talk about the founding of East Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. The founding of East Philadelphia.
And how you don't believe it's a thing anymore all of a sudden. Even though you were so on board with it before.
I don't believe it.
Okay.
A relationship's based on honesty, and honestly, I don't think I believe in East Philadelphia anymore.
A relationship is also based on support for your partner.
I mean...
And what's important
I don't want to
them,
support Greg Benson's politics.
And what's important to
his
me is
no-nonsense...
Philadelphia.
His nonsense politics.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay,
maybe you can convince me. We'll debate
we're
at
gonna
length.
Have to talk about this
for years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So if you like our podcast, Story Not Story, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/storynotstory if you'd like to support us.
One of our perks, well, we've got some pretty great perks. One of our perks is that we upload before we record our podcast, we do some testing of the microphone and the sound to make sure it's good. And those are usually pretty golden. We upload those just for patrons. And we also do an extra story for patrons once a month, which we're about to go record right now. So if you want more of Story Not Story and our ridiculousness, you can get that at patreon.com/storynotstory. You can also email us with story suggestions, storynotstorypodcast@gmail.com, or tweet us, twitter.com/storiesinbed.
Yeah, facebook.com/storynotstorypodcast. I would like to say we stream this live on YouNow and YouTube while we record it.
Yeah.
And someone in the chat, Mark G, said that I should have called this story or someone else maybe he's responding to said the Hen With No Name. Yeah.
Is that
I'm changing it. I'm changing it to the Hen With No Name.
The Hen With No Name.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Well, I think that's it.
That's it.
And we will be back next week with a couple more awesome stories. Or terrible stories. Who knows?
So you never know with us.
You really never know. Quality, it's just, we just make sure to get them up.
Yep. All right.
All right.
I guess good
night.
night.